Hi, everyone. In the last video, we identified some basic contrasts between the terms, sorry, intelligent and smart as they apply to human beings. You may recall I noted there's a distinction between the two terms in that one is fixed and the other one is fluid. It's ever changing. As promised, we're here now to focus on what it means to be intelligent. For this video, that's what we're going to be focusing on. And how this facet of your psychological gemstone may impact your ability to take tests. We'll examine the issue of smart in the next video, but for now, let's take a look at facet number one, intelligent. Let's get started. Let me bring something up for you to see here. And here we go. So let's get started. As I said, intelligence is something that's innate. It's something you're born with, nature. When we say a person is intelligent, we refer to someone who has a higher level of genetic intellect, something that's inside us when we're born. The term intelligent applies to someone who can understand, think, reason, grasp concepts, and use them in life situations to a greater extent. While the term intelligent, if you can follow me on the outline here, while the term intelligent is more or less a broad term, there's a concise, standardized method by which we can measure someone's level of intelligence. An intelligence quotient, or IQ, is such a test. These were developed to provide a way to calculate and assign a specific value to each person's inborn intelligence. We can take an IQ test and obtain a value indicator of our natural born intellect, our natural human ability to learn. Even though there are different versions of IQ tests, they're fundamentally similar in that their methods of measuring our intelligence do not vary. These tests merely offer different formats to prove the same thing. You can see for yourself by taking two or more of these just to satisfy your curiosity. Remember, your IQ does not change, ever. It's part of your genetic makeup. You're born with it, and it's going to remain constant throughout your life. Because your IQ is fixed or permanent, you cannot study for such a test by reviewing specific subject matter. The questions on these tests are all the same. So, since our IQ is constant, excuse me, and there's nothing we can do to change that, what can we do to better our chances on an exam? The answers to this question are really, really simple, basic things that you can do to perform better by often challenging, by facing the challenges to achieve. We're going to look at three areas today that are normally overlooked when studying for a test. First, let's consider how you eat. You may be intelligent by birth, but you still need to eat correctly for your brain to function at its best. Ensure you're healthy and that your brain is performing at its best. So when we're considering the issue of diet, let's talk about that. Eating healthy foods contributes enormously to our ability to think clearly, organize our thoughts, and rationally deal with challenges to our thought processes, such as taking a test. In general, avoid sugars, such as candy, donuts, even overripe bananas, as much as possible, but especially so when you're preparing to take a test. It can be, well, wait a minute, let me back up. Perhaps you've heard the term chocolate high or sugar rush. These phrases refer to a sudden but brief burst of energy we get when we consume sugar-based foods. It can be a problem for someone preparing for a test for the simple reason that immediately after we eat sugars, our brains seem more alert and we exhibit a stronger sense of well-being. It's in a noticeably short time, however, the high begins to evaporate and our clarity of thinking significantly drops. You may begin by performing brilliantly. You feel especially good. Like a finely tuned race car engine, your mind seems to be quick to respond. You may experience a false sense of euphoria because your brain is responding so well to the questions on your test. But then, like a car engine running on cheap gasoline, when the sugar wears off, your mental engine breaks down, causing you to lose focus and maybe crash psychologically and even physically as well. You may become sleepy after the effects of sugar have deteriorated, impairing your ability to read, comprehend, and respond to the problems proposed on the test. You stand a strong likelihood of performing at a fraction of what you're capable of. So I'll say it one more time. Avoid sugars. Another area that is often overlooked when we're talking about dealing with IQ is not just our physical health, but our mental well-being while taking IQ tests. Americans are reputed to be the most overweight of all societies. You can see that on the outline there. I talk about that. We tend to sit in our comfy couches while watching television, and we delude ourselves into believing we're in good health. Watching commercials for fitness food supplements and weight reduction programs and supplements just ain't gonna get it. Stop watching others exercise and set up your own program. Physical exercise definitely benefits us in many ways. Exercising regularly, consistently, can help our brains function more clearly. Create an exercise plan and stick to it. A simple regimen of walking for a half hour to an hour, at least 3 times a week, can make a big difference and your physical, well, both in your physical and your mental health. When watching someone exercise on these programs on television or streaming on your smartphone, you might be wise just to jog in place while you're watching these videos. Resist driving a block and a half to the grocery store. Try walking. Remember, any exercise is better than none. The more we exercise, though, the greater the possibility we will burn off pre-test anxiety and tension that often invades our thought process anytime we're getting ready for an exam. Now, that said, let's take a look at your emotional state while preparing for an exam. In addition to exercise and proper eating, it's important to learn to focus and think more clearly when preparing for an IQ test or any kind of test. What is your state of mind when you prepare for a test? You must get ready mentally when preparing for a test. So, how do you do that? It helps to reduce a variety of distractions and stressors in your test preparation environment that can result in anxiety buildup, which can be a major impairment to your test performance. Your goal should be to acquire an attitude of calmness or serenity during your preparation. Doing so can be an asset when you're able to carry your attitude of calm into the examination. Your mind will be more clear and more concise, thus enabling you to perform so much better than otherwise. Breathing exercises can help. If you don't know how to do that, there are zillions of videos that can help you there. Now, one last category here: family, friends, and other life hazards. If your environment, your study environment I'm talking about, is toxic, it's best to find a safe place to conduct your preparation. By toxic, I mean an unfriendly study environment, such as may exist in noisy family situations who might be unreasonably demanding of your attention. Sometimes family and friends are not the best people to have nearby when preparing for a test. It is a fact that for some people, those around them may not want them to succeed. I know it sounds unthinkable, but it is unfortunately true. Sometimes petty jealousy exists between siblings or even spouses, wherein one does not want the other to excel. Believe it or not, there are documented cases where students face unreasonable, low expectations by parents who do not believe in educating their children. This list of toxic environments is larger than you can imagine, but I think these examples provide you with an idea of what I mean. Sometimes a dysfunction exists within the family unit that challenges any member who wants to change the dynamic of the family unit. This type of personality or group might seek to maintain a homeostasis of dysfunction because these are the environments they know and they're unfortunately comfortable with. These types of people do not want to change, period. They tend to avoid altering their lifestyle for the better and oftenly, unconsciously, seek to block any member of the family or group who wants this transformation. So, when you, the test taker, face this type of challenge, it is okay for you to be a bit selfish. Focus on yourself, believe in your ability to achieve your objective. Don't be afraid to do whatever it takes to fulfill your dreams and achieve your goals by taking control and demanding your right to change for better. Hold on here, let me bring you guys back. All right, welcome back. So let's do a quick review. Your IQ is what you were born with and what you're going to possess throughout your life. In Gemstone Facet number 1, you saw that while you cannot alter your level of intelligence or IQ, there are things that you can do to maximize its functioning. You learned a bit about how eating correctly, exercising, and control of your surroundings can greatly impact your psychology when taking a test. It's common for you to be challenged or to feel challenged by your sense of misplaced loyalty to people who are not in agreement with your desire to better yourself. When you're faced with this environment, you may unnecessarily worry about courtesies that you owe family or friends during your growth process. It's natural for you to feel that you must accommodate people and include family members or friends in your life. Okay, that's fine. However, when you're preparing for a test, their presence may be a negative factor, impeding your ability to focus. It can affect your self-esteem, lower your self-esteem, and prevent you from performing well on a test. I suggest you just accept the fact that it is appropriate to be egocentric during these times, when you're trying to study for a test. Find a safe place to study. Make sure you exercise and do whatever you need to do to prepare. That said, I'm confident you will be stronger and work better once you stand your ground and assert your right to succeed. Family and friends who really care will support and respect your assertiveness. And when these situations arise, they're not going to get in your way. They're going to gladly give you the space you need. So the components of Gemstone Facet number 1 are truly important to consider. For these factors will help you toward establishing a clear mindset, which will allow you to focus and develop a foundation for greater self-esteem. When this occurs, your psychology of thinking, your psychology of test taking will be stronger. You'll go into the test with greater clarity and much more confidence, knowing you can do your best. That said, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. You can contact us on the website. That being said, thank you much. See you in the next video.